All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible comebacks in cricket history. We're talking about a final that had it all, a massive roaring crowd, a situation that looked absolutely impossible, and one single performance that would become the stuff of legend. This is the story of India's amazing 1993 Hero Cup triumph.
So, this is the big question, isn't it? How on earth did a pretty average score in front of a home crowd that was losing all hope turn into one of the most dramatic victories the sport has ever seen? Well, to figure that out, we've got to rewind back to 1993.
Okay, so to really get the magic of that night, we need to set the scene. The final itself was at the legendary Eden Gardens, but the tournament was a massive deal for Indian cricket for another reason too.
The Hero Cup in '93 was a pretty big deal. It was put on to celebrate 60 years of the Cricket Association of Bengal. But, its real importance went way beyond the pitch. This was the very first tournament broadcast live on satellite TV in India. It completely broke the state's monopoly and literally changed the game for how millions of fans would watch cricket forever.
So picture this. It's November 27th at a completely packed Eden Gardens. We're talking nearly 100,000 fans creating this insane wall of sound. The atmosphere was just electric. And you have the hosts, India, up against the West Indies, a team that still had some of the scariest names in world cricket. Yeah, the stakes could not have been higher. So with that massive crowd cheering them on, India came out to bat. But let's just say the first half of this game did not go according to plan. The trouble started right away, right at the coin toss. The West Indies captain Richie Richardson won it and decided to field first. Now, on a tricky pitch like this, one that was starting to wear down and make batting really unpredictable, that was a huge advantage. India now had the tough job of setting a target.
While other wickets were tumbling around him, one batsman really stood tall. Anil Kumble played an absolutely crucial innings, patiently building his score and holding the team together with a vital 68 runs. He was, without a doubt, the backbone of India's whole effort.
But then, just as it felt like India was building a little momentum, disaster struck. Kumble got run out, and his frustration was you could see it all over his face. The commentary team caught it perfectly. He was absolutely furious. It was a perfect sign of the immense pressure, where every single run felt monumental.
So India managed to finish their 50 overs with a score of 225. Now, in today's cricket, you might look at that and think, that's kind of low. But on that difficult pitch, it was a respectable total. Still, against the explosive batting power of the West Indies, you couldn't help but feel like it probably wasn't going to be enough. The crowd was definitely nervous.
India had a total on the board to defend, but against that powerful West Indian batting lineup, the nervousness in the crowd pretty quickly started turning into a real sense of dread.
The powerful West Indian openers started off so confidently, and you could literally feel the energy just drain out of that massive stadium. The commentary team nailed the mood perfectly, noting that the usually deafening Eden Gardens had gone deathly quiet.
The situation looked really grim. The legendary Brian Lara was at the crease, and he was scoring freely. At 57 for 1, the West Indies were in complete control, just cruising towards what looked like a super easy victory. For the Indian fans, the party seemed to be well and truly over.
But then, something shifted. The captain threw the ball to a young leg spinner, and what happened next was, it was the stuff of legend. Just look at this. The West Indies went from a position of absolute, total dominance to a stunning, complete collapse. In this dizzying turn of events, they lost their last 9 wickets for just 66 runs. It was one of the most dramatic implosions you will ever see in a final.
And the man responsible for all this, a young leg spinner by the name of Anil Kumble. His bowling figures were they're astonishing. 6 wickets for the cost of just 12 runs. In a devastating spell that lasted just over 6 overs, he completely dismantled the opposition.
It was a true domino effect. Kumble just systematically ran through the entire West Indian lineup. He started with the middle order, Holder, Adams, and Cummins, and then he tore through the dangerous lower order, getting the huge wickets of all-rounder Carl Hooper and the fearsome Curtly Ambrose. Nobody had an answer for him.
And this wasn't just a great performance, it was historic. Kumble's 6 for 12 set multiple records. It became the best ever one-day international figures by an Indian bowler, the best by any spinner in the entire world at that time, and the best figures ever recorded against the mighty West Indies. Truly a spell for the ages.
Kumble's incredible performance didn't just win the match, it sealed a famous victory and created a legacy that would last for years. The final result was just staggering, a victory by 102 runs. What seemed destined to be a close West Indian win had turned into an absolute rout, a dominant comeback sealed right there in front of a euphoric home crowd.
So absolutely no surprise, Anil Kumble was named man of the match for his heroic spell. And the captain, Mohammad Azharuddin, was recognized as man of the series for his consistent batting, leading his team from the front through the whole tournament.
And all of this leaves us with one final question. Kumble's performance was so much more than just a match-winning spell.
6 for 12. It sounds like a cheat code in a video game.
It basically was. The West Indies went from 57 for 1 to 123 all out. India didn't just win. They won by 102 runs.
That is a complete psychological disintegration.
It was, and statistically, it was monumental. At the time, 6 for 12 was the best bowling figures by an Indian in one-day international.
And that record stood for a long time, didn't it?
Over 20 years. It wasn't broken until 2014 when Stuart Benny took 6 for 4 against Bangladesh. And to this day, it's still the best figures by any bowler against the West Indies in ODI history.
Incredible. So the presentation ceremony happens. India lifts the trophy. But not just any trophy.
No, this is a great detail. The Hero Cup was a suspended trophy made in Jaipur, the jewelry capital of India. It was encrusted with jewels. It was practically a piece of royal furniture.
Very on brand for a Diamond Jubilee.
Absolutely. Mohammad Azharuddin was named man of the series for his incredible batting. He averaged around 80. But Kumble, of course, was the undisputed man of the match.
So let's zoom out. We've got the trophy, the smoke, the 6 for 12. Why does this deep dive matter today? We said this changed cricket. How?
Well, on the field, it created a blueprint. Before this, India often tried to copy the West Indies or Australia, trying to find fast bowlers on pitches that just didn't suit them. After the Hero Cup, India realized, we have dust bowls. Let's use spinners to suffocate teams.
It cemented the strategy of using spin to win at home.
Which made India so dominant in the 90s and 2000s. Eden Gardens became a fortress for spin. It proved you don't need to be fast to be lethal.
And off the field, back to the lawyers.
That's the legacy that affects you, the listener. That legal battle between the CAB and Doordarshan broke the government monopoly. It allowed private broadcasters like Star and later ESPN and Sony to enter the market.
So the massive IPL deals, the billions of dollars flowing into the game.
It all traces back to the precedent set right here. Before the Hero Cup, cricket was a public service. After the Hero Cup, it was a commercial product. The Hero Cup wasn't just a name. It was a signal that corporate India and global media were taking over.
That's a profound shift from a smoky stadium with torchlights to the HD multi-billion-dollar industry we have today.
And that raises a provocative question for us to end on.
Go on.
We celebrate this as the Kumble match. We look at the scorecard.
Yeah.
But considering that broadcasting rights battle that started right there, was the biggest winner actually the television viewer?
That's a great point. The players got the jewelry cup, but we got the access.
Exactly. This tournament effectively birthed the modern era, where you can watch every ball from every angle anywhere in the world. The rights became private property, competition increased, and the quality of coverage just skyrocketed.
So next time you're streaming a match in 4K on your commute, just remember, it all started with a lawsuit in 1993, surrounded by burning newspapers in Calcutta.
A fitting legacy for a Diamond Jubilee.
That brings us to the end of this deep dive into the 1993 Hero Cup. A match that spun the West Indies out of the game and spun the Indian media landscape into a whole new era.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.